Let me ask you something. Have you ever been in a situation where someone asked you a simple question in English, and your mind suddenly just froze? You knew the answer. You understood the question, but your mouth refused to speak. And the moment passed. You smiled nervously. You nodded. But deep down, you were thinking, why is this so hard for me? You're not alone. This happens to millions of English learners every day. And it's not because you're lazy or bad at languages or too old to learn. None of that is true. It happens because most of us were taught the wrong way. We were taught to memorize words, translate in our heads, study grammar rules. But no one showed us how to just speak. To speak like real people speak. To speak like we do in our own language, naturally, freely, without fear. Today, I want to change that. Today, I want to give you a better way. You see, real fluency is not about knowing every English word. It's not about having a perfect accent. It's not even about speaking fast. Fluency is about being able to say what you want, without getting stuck, without fear, without translating. It's about feeling like English is part of you. And I'm here to tell you, that is 100% possible for you. No matter where you live, no matter what your first language is, no matter how many times you've failed before. But to get there, you need to leave behind the old methods that don't work and try something that does. Let's talk about it. Let's start with memorizing. How many times have you tried to memorize vocabulary? Word after word, notebook after notebook. You sit there thinking, okay, reliable means trustworthy. I'll remember that. But a few days later, gone. You can't use it. You can't recall it in a conversation. It's like it never existed. That's because memorization works for exams, but not for real life. Your brain doesn't like isolated facts. It loves patterns, stories, and real use. That's how babies learn language. That's how you learned your first language. And that's how you should be learning English now. And what about translating? I see this all the time. You hear something in English, you understand it. But when you try to respond, your brain quickly switches back to your language. You think in your language, translate the sentence, try to remember grammar, and finally say something in English. It's slow, it's stressful, and it's exhausting. That's not fluency. That's survival. To speak fluently, you need to make English your first response, not your second thought. And to do that, you need to change how you experience the language. Imagine if English wasn't something you study, but something you live with. Like a close friend that's always around. You wake up and listen to an English podcast while making tea. You talk to yourself in English while walking to the bus stop. You watch a funny video in English and repeat the best lines just for fun. You look in the mirror and say, "Okay, let's do this. I've got a big day today." This is how fluency begins, not in a classroom, but in your daily life. Let me share a story. A friend of mine from Brazil once told me, "I couldn't speak English even after 10 years of studying. But when I started watching a Netflix show I loved, without subtitles, and I repeated what the characters said, everything changed. After 3 months, I could finally speak without translating." Why did that work? Because it was real. It had emotion. It had context. It had repetition. Her brain didn't just learn English, it felt English. And it started to respond in English, automatically. That's the goal. And here's the beautiful part. You can do the same thing. You don't need to move to America or the UK. You don't need an expensive course. You don't even need a conversation partner right away. All you need is this: a little time each day. Real English input. Listening to what real people say. A habit of speaking. Even if you speak only to yourself, talk to yourself. Narrate your day. Repeat what you hear. Shadow your favorite YouTuber. Record your voice and listen back, not once, but again and again and again. Because fluency doesn't come from studying. It comes from doing. So the next time you feel stuck, the next time your brain says, "Wait, how do I say this in English?" Stop. Take a deep breath and try to say it in simple English. Don't worry about the perfect word. Don't worry about grammar. Just say it, even if it's wrong, even if it sounds weird. Say it anyway, because that's how you grow. That's how you become fluent. One word, one phrase, one small step at a time. I want you to know something. Fluency is not about talent. It's not a gift. It's not luck. It's about building small habits that connect English to your real life. It's about being brave enough to speak, even when it's messy. It's about choosing progress over perfection. So please, stop memorizing. Stop translating. Stop being afraid. Start listening. Start speaking. Start using English like it's yours. Because it is. It belongs to you. And you are ready. If you're watching this right now, I believe you're serious. I believe you care. And I believe you can do this. So tell me in the comments, "I'm ready to speak naturally." Let that be your first step. And tomorrow, make English a part of your life, even for 10 minutes. Because fluency starts the moment you stop being afraid to try. Don't wait to be fluent to use English. Use English, and fluency will come.